I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting of leadership team to order. Let me pull up my copy of the agenda. Wait, where did that go? I don't want that. Mr. Stevens, do you linked? Sorry, did you guys have a chance to look over the agenda? Anything we want to add, take away? And there's Camilo.
Where is it at? Is it in our emails or?
There is a link in the chat, and it is also in the email that was sent to members on Monday.
Okay. My laptop.
Did you find it, Jasmine?
My laptop's booting up.
Okay.
Actually, well, I can go through the mail. Or is it on Slack at all in the link or no?
I can put it there if you'd like.
Yeah, that would work. I can just click on it from there.
Oops. Wrong one. There we go. Now it's in the leadership room channel on Slack as well.
This looks good to me.
Okay. Camila, do you have any additions, subtractions, alterations to the agenda?
Nope, I'm good with it.
All right. Nate, you good?
Yep.
All right. Mr. Stevens, it looks like all four of us are here. So now we can discuss your prior meeting minutes.
Prior meeting minutes. The link is in the chat. It's the Stevens family link. Just going over. Ah, darn it. I was going to share my screen. Are we all looking at that?
I can set you up to share screen if you want. Here, that's just easier.
Cool. There we go. Let me make this function. Bingo. Yeah, we should all be looking at my Dissenter browser. So call to order last month was 7:18 p.m. Later than usual. Oh no, never mind. It was 3 minutes after. My bad. All four of us were here along with Ms. Marcia Powell. I talked about Slack implementation. Our treasurer talked about our payment processor switch, and we have more to discuss about that in this meeting. Some no pressure social events for LPF members, general libertarian stuff. We've had some new events come up as well, such as our coffee talks and the yoga, which is coming up on May 2nd. Yep. Some voter data discussion, thank yous to our recurring donors, and our coffee talks through June.
That looks like a pretty good accounting of what we did. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I
motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right. They are approved.
Hold on. I have to figure out how to stop screen sharing. There it is.
Oh, boy. There you go. All right.
There we go.
Next item on our agenda is member comment. Any of you guys have anything that you want to say that would be outside your role as an officer in the affiliate?
I have gotten some requests from party members to do one of our meetings at like not necessarily meeting, but like a get together at either Rat Brewery or some of the places like that we've previously done. So I've been getting a lot of people reaching out to me asking for that.
Okay. Anybody want to take on the task of finding some place that will allow us to meet in a group larger than 6?
Yeah, I'll take that on.
I appreciate that, Camilo. I appreciate you bringing that concern forward. All right. Probably the next or the biggest thing for this meeting has to do with our reaffiliation with the state, which we were authorized to do by our members last week at the general business meeting. Mr. Colino, where do we stand on that agenda item?
So I submitted the form over to, and her name is escaping me, I'm sorry, but she emailed something back that I needed to correct. So I got that from her today, and I am going to have that corrected and sent on to her either later this evening or first thing tomorrow morning.
Is it Julie Marcus?
No, it starts with a C. Oh, that's it. Wendy Grimes. Where did I get C? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's okay. From the Supervisor of Elections office. Okay. And where do we stand? We need to go through we need to perform the audit and then file our paperwork with LPF. Those are our 2 big things. We actually need to do that prior to submitting the paperwork that's due on the 1st. Our reaffiliation paperwork with LPF is due on the 31st. And the paperwork to Ms. Grimes at the Supervisor of Elections office is due on April the 1st.
Yep, we'll have all of that done in that time. So I should have everything finalized for your review, hopefully, either tomorrow, worst case, the day after.
Okay, and we need to make sure that we are going to be able to digitally sign for Jasmine especially, so that she doesn't have to make the trek back to put a wet signature on the reaffiliation paperwork and the audit.
Okay, I'll try to figure out how we can do that. I'll work on it.
I have a DocuSign or one of those accounts if we need to use it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I think it would probably be easier for us to just do digital signatures anyway, rather than have you or me run around the county to get everybody's signature that's required for it. While we're on the topic, our holdup is still the information you need from the state party about giving us permission to utilize the name for our Sunbiz filing. Is that right, Camilo?
Yeah, once we get that back, then we can move forward with the state documents. Once we get the state documents completed, the EIN is something we'll have as soon as we get the state documents in. What's going to take the longest is the IRS 527 filing. They're notoriously slow. I've been quoted anywhere from 6 to 9 months on turnaround time for them.
That's fine. I'm not real worried. Just as long as we're in process, we're able to operate. As long as we have everything else squared away.
The state documents and EIN will allow us to operate. We just won't be a formal, official nonprofit until we get that 527 from the IRS. So we'll be at least good and legal with the state once that comes in. And
really, it would be more important if we were C3 so that it were tax deductible donations. But since we're political, it really doesn't matter from a tax deduction perspective.
Yeah, correct. The only thing is that we'd have to adhere to what the donation limits are specific to political parties when it comes to like max donations.
Okay.
What was the issue that kind of caused this to not be a thing like the prior years?
I think that there was the assumption that it was set up that way to begin with, and not knowing that there were things that needed to be done to make us legit in the eyes of the omnipotent state. And so I imagine that that's probably where it was. I'm going to assume that it was a lack of knowledge rather than any sort of malevolent action.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily that it was something that someone did willfully. I think it's just like Brett said, it was just not being knowledgeable. I mean, this is something that I operate in this space and dealing with banks and what legal paperwork is required. So this is something I'm very familiar with. So as soon as we started finding out that we didn't have these things, I knew what steps we needed to take to correct it. But only because we started this credit card processing to try to
Right.
get it to where we could save money. So it was actually a good thing we uncovered it, because now going forward, when we hand off to any other future administrations, it's something that's already addressed for them.
Okay.
Yeah, the payment processor switch was actually the triggering event that caused all of the questions to be raised and took us, made us act to make everything legit paperwork wise.
Okay. And does that have any effect on like our affiliation or anything like that?
No,
Okay,
as long
so
as we're good with the state party, which we will be once we submit the audit and the reaffiliation paperwork that Camila will have to me tomorrow or the next day. And then we submit it by the 31st. There should be no issue with remaining an affiliate of LPF, as we were directed to do by the members last week.
We also get so little in donations that we kind of fly under the radar anyways. So, if we were doing 100,000 a month, this would be a very different problem for us. It'd be much more serious, but we don't even do 3,000 in a year. So it's not really a huge concern, but you know how the state can be if something comes up, and we would be under the radar because we are neither left nor right. So, they would find a reason to penalize us one way or the other for not being legally set up. And it would just create more problems than it's really worth when it's a simple fix.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so we kind of combined items 6 and 8. Is there anything else that we need to note, Camilo, with regard to paperwork and the reaffiliation process?
No, we're pretty much on track. The affiliation paperwork, I've never done it, so I'm just taking my time to make sure it's done right.
It's super easy.
I've reached out. It is, but I just want to make sure that it's done right, because like when I sent over that form over to and her
Wendy?
name escapes me again, but yeah, she was like, hey, you kind of missed a couple of little things, and it was nothing major, but I just want to make sure that everything's on the up and up, so we don't have to submit 3-4 times.
Sure.
And I got a friend of mine who he actually works with the Republican Party in California. So he kind of gave me some insight on what they do to really affiliate, which I imagine is a similar process, barring, of course, the state specific stuff. So he's given me some really good pointers and to help me out. Obviously, we haven't exchanged any specific details or anything other than just the process.
Okay. Cool. Mr. Stevens, you want to give the kind of lowdown on Slack? We've mentioned it in meetings and we are ready to go and actively using it. In fact, I shared several things in events, leadership room, created a channel. I've been fairly active this week. If you could kind of share what we need to do next to grow beyond the 4 of us.
So for our Slack, it's up, it's going. A permanent join link has been put in chat. Spread it far and wide. Anyone and everyone is good to join. You're able to see everywhere. That's just a matter of transparency. So Brett and I so far have been using it to communicate. He gives me event details. I get them going on our site, that kind of thing. Past that, we are going to continue using it. With my newfound time, we've created a channel for city and county meetings. I'm going to be trying to pick out the ones that, might need some libertarian watchdogging, if you know what I mean, to make sure they're not going too far off track. So I'm going to try and attend as many of those as I can. And anything of note, I bring it back here and we get on their case for whatever wrong thing they've done. But with growing our Slack, we want to just have more people, more party members present, and that keeps us accountable and that keeps party members informed. And it also makes sure that there's not an us-them atmosphere. It's not, you have to be one of the 4 cool kids if you want to do anything around here. Right. So next business meeting, I'm going to basically be personally asking everyone, hey, please join our Slack. Please and thank you. And past that, again, if you know anybody, everyone is fine to join. If we can maybe get someone to go to their local affiliate LP meeting through here, awesome. Huge success.
I'll also be sending something out via the email list next week, asking people to join. It's been kind of a busy email week already this week when we had our announcement about the meeting tonight, an email that went out. Oh, I'm sorry, Nate, was there anything else you needed on that? Okay, because I just realized that this kind of dovetails into the next item. So yesterday I sent to the 459 addresses that we were able to glean from the registered voter list, a welcome to the LP email address, and I shared that in Slack, actually. Is it Promoting Liberty? No. Leadership Room? Yes. It's thank you for registering LPF. So if you guys want to check out the email that was sent out, essentially it's something that gives them, lets them know that they are a member of the affiliate. It gives them an opportunity very early on to unsubscribe if they're not interested. And it gave them kind of the standing meetings that we hold, our monthly business meeting and the officer meeting, things that are mandated by the bylaws. And then there's also some upcoming non-party business events that are included, which includes our next two coffee talks with Nick Sarwark and then with Jess Mears, as well as Liberty Yoga, and lets them know how they can participate. And so that was kind of something that went out there for them to kind of take a look. And now those people are a part of our list. I'll do the same thing with the March disc, which I got last week. Haven't had the opportunity to go through the data yet, but that'll be something that's on my list upcoming. So that's kind of where we are with the voter data outreach. So far, it's been that email because I wanted to make sure that we had money for other things after the paperwork that we're working on, or that Camilo's actually doing most of the heavy lifting on, to make sure that we're all squared away in terms of any filing fees or the like that we have. Item number 10, the first part that I want to touch on is I want to check with Ms. Herrera. How have the donor thank yous gone so far this month? I know you copied me on one. I just wanted to see how the process worked for you in terms of having them forwarded and getting the email sent to our monthly donors.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
How many are we sending? Are we sending them to every person that pops up each month? Yep. Or yep. Okay, that makes sense.
So I think I got one from you
probably last week, like around the 15th was when it started coming out.
I think it was for Clay, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sort of to see the guy from Atomic Tattoos. Okay, yeah. So I've got that one done. I wasn't sure exactly how many we were doing each month, so I need to double check.
Yeah.
So probably tomorrow and like the end of the week, I'll start taking out the rest.
Perfect. I think there's only like 3 or 4 more that have come in since. I noticed there were 2 that came in today. So obviously you don't have to send yourself one, but I like what you had. It was very similar, I think, to what I shared last month, but it's nice that there are different people that are reaching out, and that's kind of the idea. I believe, Camilo, you are already getting those. Is that right?
I was going to skip him.
Emails? You were going to skip Camilo? Okay, good.
Yeah, I wasn't going to thank him.
Yeah, you don't have to. That's fair.
Actually, since we're supposed to make them a little bit personalized, I might add him just so I can add a little smart remark.
Okay.
I already know
what me on
going.
I'd be like, thanks for your donation, minus like the half of 1 cent in profit you're getting from your donation.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh.
So,
yeah,
Camilo,
I think trying to think of how to personalize them is actually the toughest part.
Gotcha. I understand. Well, I mean, I did the same email for each, but it was just having a touch that thanked them for their donation. That's not something that you get a lot.
Okay.
And I think probably, like once a year, it'd probably be nice to thank them with a card in the mail that just says thanks.
Oh, we could get the from the Big LP website. We could get those tax-free gift cards and send those out.
Oh yeah, okay, I like that.
And then they can use those to tip their servers. That's not actually a tip because tips are taxable. They're giving them a gift for their service.
They're giving them a gift, exactly right. And so you didn't have any issue with the forwarding of the PayPal emails that let you know, okay. And Camilo, you are getting those every time regardless, right?
Yeah,
You're getting
I think
emails to your treasurer email?
Yeah, I get notice on any of the financial stuff.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. And was it Nate or Camilo that's doing April? The April thank yous.
I thought it was me. I can look.
Yeah,
back
I think Nate has April and I think I have May.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then it comes back around to me in June. Okay, cool. So
perfect for me. That's when I'm off orders.
And then the April. So what's going to happen, Nate, is you're going to see a request to have email forwarded to you as part of the rule that I set up in the party Gmail. And I'll probably do that a couple days before and then get it set up to send to you starting April 1st. Jasmine, you're going to continue to get them unless you want me to end the rule until it's your month again. But I think it's nice for us to know kind of who the people are that are giving and the like. So I'll make sure then to get Nate set up for April. And then the last thing before our final agenda item is the coffee talk through June. So we've got Nick, April 10th, 9 a.m. And then Just Mears is May. And we talked about Hesham El Maliji for June. He's open on dates. I just sent him a text to see if he was interested. So we don't have to necessarily go for June. One of the things that I was kind of thinking might be interesting, I have a friend who's a journalist in Georgia, and she attends local government meetings to hold them accountable for, well, one, to have something other than the city or county newspaper who may or may not show up to their meeting. But she also reminds them about open records and does some investigative journalism. That might be a good speaker to have for the people who are going to our city and county meetings, so they can be aware of what the city councils and county commissions can do in terms of operating outside of Florida sunshine laws. Would we prefer to have her for June after we've had April and May to kind of build up the group of people who are going to our city and county meetings to be on Nate and Jasmine when she returns?
I think that'd be a good idea. We could do her in June and maybe Hesham in July. I
mean, we've got tons of time. We also have, I wanted to have Nina as well, talk about Ladies of Liberty. I mean, we're stacked through the end of this term in terms of coffee talks,
okay.
With ideas that we've had. So I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts. If we did that in June, then we'd be equipping a lot of people for the city county meetings, and it might be something that the state party could promote a little as well for that particular coffee talk. That would be nice to have.
I'm sorry, could you say her name again? I'm trying to put it on the notes.
Hold on. Her last name is SZILAGI. Salaji.
I was not about to guess that.
Yeah, I met her as a result of the backyard chicken stuff that I worked on when I lived in Atlanta, or north of Atlanta. And she was very helpful when it came to kind of getting to know how the county government operated and the things that they had to do with regard to transparency and the sunshine laws and the like. So now she does that full time as a career in South Georgia, where she's going from meeting to meeting and doing some investigative journalism. So she's got a lot of insight there. So I'll go ahead and reach out to her to have her for our June coffee talk. Is there anybody that you guys like want me to reach out to, or you really want to see for one of those? I felt like Professor Horowitz's was awesome. And the video from that coffee talk has done really well for us on YouTube. Is there anybody else that we kind of want to get like a...
Could we get Mama Joe or Spike on?
Yes, I was about to say it. If no one else did, I was going to say, can we get Joe Jorgensen?
I'm sure that's certainly possible. I'll probably go through Jess to get there, but yeah, we can do that.
I think that would get a lot of. I feel like quite a few people would show up.
Yeah, because of the name recognition alone. I mean, you're right. Professor Horowitz's was fantastic, and as we kind of build off of that with Nick Sarwark and these others that we have coming up, we start showing some name recognition within the party itself. That's going to really help a lot of local traction for us. And those that are on the cusp of like those like pseudo libertarians that are like, I'm libertarian, but I'm NPA really in the voter rolls, So that might swing those people to come and get involved with us.
All right.
Yeah, I'll throw out Joe Bishop Henchman. Just a thought.
Sure. That's pretty easy. That's just a Facebook message. And he's been very amenable to showing up to things, especially virtually. I know that he just did the Georgia and Alabama conventions last weekend, I believe.
He's coming to Florida, last I checked, as well.
I didn't know that he was on the June speakers, but that's awesome.
I think so. I heard it at a caucus meeting.
Okay, nice. Jasmine, it looked like you had another one.
Yeah, can we get Vermin Supreme?
Yeah,
I can reach out to Vermin Supreme.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll add those two to the list of folks that we're reaching out to, and I think we really are pretty much set then for the remainder of the term. I will go ahead and assume that this is something that next term will want to be done, so I'll go ahead and work on February at least for them, no matter what, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. There was something that I wanted to actually share that isn't on the agenda that I was going to use public comment for, and now I've forgotten what it was. Oh well. I will entertain a motion to adjourn unless someone has something that they wanted to share in member comment.
Motion to adjourn.
The only question I have is for that one event that you want me to set up. Do you want me to set that up for April then? Or like what month do we want to do that?
You're gonna have to refresh my memory, Camilo.
Where people like the rap brewery get-togethers.
Yeah. Social. Anywhere, anytime. I like to have at least 3 weeks out. So we would be looking at mid-April or later.
Okay, yeah, that works. All right. So I'll set something up for end of April or mid to end of April, and then once I get a date locked in and everything like that, then I'll communicate that to both you and Nate.
Sounds good. Let's make sure that we do. Let's avoid our existing events. Try not to do it the day before or the day after an existing. So we have the business meeting on the 15th. We will likely then have the officer meeting on the 21st, and then we have yoga on the 2nd of May. So just keep those dates in mind so that we aren't bookending multiple things at a time where we cannibalize the audience or turnout for existing things already.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Oh,
all right, guys.
One more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where is our float?
So I still haven't had the opportunity to meet up with Mark, and that's a failing on my part. Things have been kind of busy, but I will put that at the top of my list to reach out to him and see what I can do about garnering all that stuff. The other thing is it's going to have to stay in my garage, which is outside. So I've got to make sure I've got to clean out some space for it, for the stuff that he has for us. It all has to stay outside in the garage. So that's my failing there, and I'll make sure to work on that.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking like after you do get all this stuff from him, maybe we should create like an inventory list. That way, it just continues on forward through the administrations.
That's a great idea.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll like I said, I'll reach out to him and go from there.
Okay, that's all I had.
Awesome. All right, I will entertain that motion now, Nate.
I move.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, guys, we are adjourned.